Swoosh it.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is up, my ghouls and gals? This is Mini Vinny MG, and I got my best friend, my co-host, the man with the plan, Mr. Phoenix. And
What's up? What's up?
A very special guest for you tonight. Say hello to the one and the only. Would you like to do the name?
It is Mike from Las Vegas Soul Searchers.
All right.
How you guys doing?
Mike?
Doing good tonight. How about you guys?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live here in Las Vegas. I'm a retired law enforcement. Paranormal, I've always been kind of skeptical of it. The whole, my son grew up watching the paranormal shows, and I'd sit and watch it with him, one in particular. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, oh, this is crap. I always thought it was dramatic.
Yep.
Most of the time it is, but
So when I retired, a friend of mine was already kind of in the paranormal. So I was curious about it. So I joined him, and I had my first unexplained experience with him. And then since that experience, and it happened to be at the Clown Motel here in Tonopah, Nevada.
Nice.
Yeah.
been there, done that.
Yeah. So
how fun is that?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I'm also in the Clown Motel 3 Ways to Hell movie, and we'll be working on the 4th one. So.
Oh yes, you're gonna be with Mary.
Yeah, Mary Kate's the one that got me involved in the project.
Yes, and Will. We're interviewing them on our other show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell them I said hi. Matter of fact, I'm meeting with my buddy Hammy and Joseph Kelly tonight. He's the writer, director, producer of Clown Motel. So after the show, I'm going to go meet with him and my buddy who plays Hammy in the Clown Motel. All 3 of them so far.
Hey,
tell him to message me.
I'm your guy. I worked Fright Dome for 3 years, man. That's all I did, chase people in a clown suit.
Yeah. So my persona is Dr. Slaughter.
Dr. Slaughter.
Slaughter.
Nice.
I took the S out and I used the Z because my last name is Zervo, so it's just a play on Slaughter and Zervo. So I call myself Dr. Slaughter. That's my clown persona.
Nice.
My clown persona is Stitches.
Stitches.
I had a prosthetic that split down the middle, and we stitched it together.
Oh, nice.
Glued it to my face. I was Stitches the clown.
And boy, did that make him look amazing. Better than now.
I know.
Oh.
That's a better face.
Yeah.
I can't wait all year though, because cops will get on me.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Clown Motel was my first experience, and since that first experience, I started diving into it more because I was curious about it. And I've been doing this for 6 years, and I've had so much stuff happen to me that I can't explain. So there is something to it, and I believe that now. And when I think back on it, some of those shows, what they were experienced, I've experienced for myself now. So I don't think it was as dramatic as I thought it was. Maybe some of it is dramatics, but I don't want to say all of it because I've had experiences where I seemed over dramatic too. And I can assure you that it was just what I was feeling at the time.
Yeah, you could tell
Okay.
I really haven't done much investigating like with the group. I've done investigations, and being in this field for as long as you and me and whoever else has, you could tell when you watch these other people that are over exaggerating.
Yeah.
You know when it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not gonna go, oh my god, whoa, whoa. No, you're gonna run. You're gonna run fast. You're not gonna
Well,
scream, you're not gonna make sound. You're just gonna go, nope.
we know Vinny will run. We know that. But some might go, oh my God.
I mean, I get excited sometimes about the stuff. I'm not so much scared about it. I mean, I spent over 2 hours alone from like 1 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning, locked down in the Washoe Club by myself. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I don't really get frightened by this stuff. It just, there's one experience in particular, the Jamestown Hotel in California. I had a bad experience there, and then when I went back a few years later, whatever it was still affecting me, and I'm sure every paranormal investigator has that one spot that they won't go back into, and for me, that's the Jamestown Hotel in California.
Mine is the Queen Mary in California.
Nice. I haven't been there yet. I was trying to book the most haunted room there, but you know, it's so dang expensive. They're like $900 for the night and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Now it is. When I did it with Omar and the boys from Twin Paranormal, and we all went out there, it was $25 for one night.
oh yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Not anymore.
I got big old 3 lines scratched on my back, and I didn't even stay the night.
Yeah.
They ended up staying the night. I left. As soon as I got scratched, I left.
Yeah, I got scratched at the Washoe Club. Three right down the back.
Yep. I don't. They don't like you. What's with getting you behind your back? I can't just come at you like men, right?
But see, I'm not too bright sometimes. I'll sit there and let them, hey, scratch me. I don't antagonize them. I just want to communicate with them, but I open myself up to trying to get them to show me they're there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's got me in the rear end a couple times.
Ooh. So I want to give it, not to change subject real quick. I just have something in the comments. Florentina, which is a really close good friend of mine / our director. Hello. And yes, St. Augustine is the best place that we would definitely want to start going there.
What is?
St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, St. Augustine. Yeah, you guys got a haunted spot there that's really, really bad. Isn't it?
So now back to the goodies. What was your first experience in the Clown Motel? What happened?
Okay, so my buddy Paul and he lives in Vegas, but he's back and forth to California. But so he said, I'm going to take you to the Clown Motel and we're going to do an investigation. So we got there. We had just got our equipment into the room, and it was room 8. I remember the room 8, and we had it spread out in the bed, and it was still daylight. We were going to go get something to eat, and you ever reach in your pocket and you feel trash, so I had trash in my pocket, like receipts or something, and I just walked across the room to throw them away, and it was like, walked over to it and like, boom, I just walked in. It felt like I walked into like a wall of energy. I had chills. Wow. I had chills going down both sides of my jaw. The hair on my arms were standing up. And it's the first time I've ever felt anything like that. And I turn around and go, Paul, I'm going, Paul, look at the hair on my arms. I got tingling down my jaw, so I don't know what's going on. And that was my very first experience at the Clown Motel. And that's the one that intrigued me to dig further. And we weren't even there 10 minutes when this happened to me.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So did you witness any clowns moving?
No, well, the trash can was on the far side of the room, just under the sink, and above the sink was this mirror. So when we started the investigation, that particular room that night, we had the SLS out, and we had it aimed at there, and then we had what appeared to be figures the whole time jumping in and out of that mirror. They'd pop in, they'd pop out, they'd pop in, they'd pop out. Looked like a couple of them were hurtling right back into the mirror, and then and it was like that most of the night. And you just aim the camera there, and you can see these stick figures popping in and out. And we weren't mapping anything because it was clear sometimes, but then they come right out of the mirror. So I think whatever happened to me is it popped out, and I surprised it, and it surprised me. So that was my very first experience.
Kind of like that woman in the shower moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I got a question. Did you ever get to when you were filming? Did you ever get to go into the cemetery area?
My part of the movie wasn't actually filmed there. I was in the last couple of days. I was out at the Nelson Ghost Town here, but okay. I've been to the cemetery a few times, done investigations out there, and I really haven't felt a whole lot out in that cemetery. All the activity I've ever had was in the rooms or the hotel itself.
Yeah, because that's where the Indian burial grounds are, or right there. The hotel was actually built.
Yeah. But for the most part, every time I've been out the cemetery, it's been relatively quiet.
Yep.
Okay. So what's your favorite part of equipment? What's your equipment choice?
My personal choice, a lot of people don't like it because of the noise. I like the Spirit Box. So because I have the APS processor, so I can replay, in 10-second intervals, like slow it down. If I hear something, I can play it back and slow it down. And so I like the Spirit Box. That's one of my favorite. And I just bought, not too long ago, a few months ago, I bought an XLS camera. So I'm kind of experimenting with that, and I've had some interesting stuff with that. Yeah.
Indians love quiet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your friend is saying that.
Yep, that's Florentina.
That's funny.
But
okay.
I also have the Paralanterns. I have like 4 of the minis, and I have one full size, and I really like using those too, because I've used it in communicating, talking and asking questions and using it for responses, and I've had a lot of success with the Paralantern.
Okay, we used one of those when we went to the cemetery with Nicole.
Oh yeah, you used do you have what's called the yes or no pyramid?
The what?
It's called the yes or no pyramid.
I do not have that. I have two little boxes that light up green and red for yes and no. I use those kind of like mini REM pods that are green and red.
Have you ever used the cat balls?
I have cat balls. Yeah, those are pretty awesome.
The most popular thing in investigations. Everybody uses.
I have cat balls, and I also have the tripwire. I like the tripwire.
Mm-hmm.
The tripwire. What? I don't know about that one.
It's a wire you lay down. It has like little Christmas lights on it.
And it's a long, mine's like 12 foot, and it's got like 8 different, and it's like one continuous, but there's like 8 mini EMF detectors and so you lay it out in the hallway, or you lay it, and if you can actually see if they start moving in a particular direction, you can see if something's moving past them or walking past them, or they've all lit up just like a REM pod or the Paralantern. It's along the same thing, but it's a long wire.
So have you messed with dice before?
No, I haven't messed with the dice.
I don't do the Ouija board either. Don't ask.
No, I'm not a fan of the Ouija board, so.
No, neither am I.
So it's crossed my mind a couple of times. I just haven't used it. I don't know if I want to.
I mean, you really got to know what you're doing with the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And you really got to be very careful what you invite.
Yeah, and that's my problem. I'm pretty susceptible to being, like things biting me in the butt, and for lack of a better term. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go back and you see, I have my video on my website of the Jamestown Hotel when I was there the first time. They said it was a possession. I don't know. All it was empty space for me. I don't remember anything. All I know is what's on the video. And then Ghost Adventures actually called me back 3 years later because they were going to investigate the place. And I went back with them. And as soon as I walked back in there, because it was the first time I've been in there for 3 years, I didn't want to be there at all. So, and if you watch that episode, you'll see it affected me pretty bad in the same area that affected me 3 years prior to that.
And that's
So
on
if you're
your website?
The first is, and then the second one, when I went back with Ghost Adventures, it was just recently. It says season 30, episode 7. It's called Gold Town Terror.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
you're over there at the Gold Town Hotel?
No, this is in Jamestown. The episode was called The Gold Town Terror, and it was Jamestown, California. I've actually investigated the Goldfield Hotel with Nick Groff.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
fun.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
That spirit is fun.
Yeah, we saw Shadow Fig. We had a lot of activity in there.
Oh yeah.
So
That is
that
awesome.
was-
Yeah.
Flores.
I spent 3 days investigating Goldfield, the high school, the hotel, and the couple other buildings there. So
You got the high school. We just got the hotel.
Oh, okay.
That's what we got clearance for. We
Yeah,
didn't get any clearance for the school or anything.
yeah, I spent 2 nights investigating the high school.
Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah, that is.
Did you capture anything? What?
Yeah, we captured all, from shadow figures to Ovilus. Like, we were in the hallway of this one, and then we're asking questions, and we started feeling a heaviness in there. And then on the Ovilus, it just pops up Devil. And then right after Devil popped up Diablo. And we're going, oh crap. It's a bilingual demon.
Oh God. Jeremy, maybe when I'm 100% healed again, we'll take a trip out that way. And I know you haven't been there. It's a ginormous town. Well, not ginormous.
It's a small town.
It's haunted.
Yeah.
And the hotel is usually open in the daytime for walkthroughs.
I don't know if it is so
Yeah.
much because it changed owners a few times.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. The original owner passed away, so I'm not even sure who owns it now. So every time I've been there since then, driving through, it's been closed during the day. So I mean, trying to find a contact because I want to go back.
I think if you go, they still have the website up, right?
I
Then
think
if you
so.
Go to the website and get the number. It's the same number, or it might be different. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know it's changed hands a couple times. I know they were going to refurbish it and try to open it back up. And when I went there with Nick Groff, they actually were doing some construction inside, but I don't think it went anywhere much further after that.
I've got some emails out to Nick trying to get him on the show. So
Okay.
maybe if you got an extra bonus and give him a call.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, I'm not like, I only did that one event with him, so I'm not like really close to Nick. I'm not going to pretend like I'm close to Nick, but
Right.
that's when and his wife, she wasn't his wife at the time, but she was there too. So, but that's
Cool.
my only interaction. I'm closer to Zach than I am Nick, and I don't know Zach that well. I did work at the Haunted Museum for about 8 months.
Oh, me too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Not for 8 months. I worked for Halloween.
Oh, no, I worked security there for 8 months.
Oh, you know Bacon then?
Oh yeah, Bacon and both Bacons.
Both Bacon, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, Bald Bacon and me, we were like buddy. I
yeah.
was the security killer clown for the perimeter on the outside of the
Oh,
museum.
I know they're hiring for clowns right now.
Uh-huh. I know. He's Zach has called me. He wants me to come. I'm like, I had bad experiences when I was working at the museum.
There's a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people go on tours, and we have to pull them out the back door to sit, and it affects it.
I never went in the museum. I had
Oh.
all my experiences were on the outside.
I really didn't have a whole lot on the outside, and I was security, so I worked on Tuesdays when it was closed anyways and all quiet. So I never had any. I've had experiences in the house because I've done 3 flashlight tours there.
Oh,
But,
wow.
yeah, I've never had anything on the outside.
Okay.
We're definitely going to have to take a tour.
Yeah. When I worked there and we were doing Halloween night, I got pushed 3 times
Yeah.
and I got pinned to the gate one time for about 15 minutes. Nothing was behind me.
That's crazy. Yeah, I actually got pushed by the mirror down in the basement when I was on a flashlight tour. I
They
was
don't have
standing-
that glass clown in the clown room anymore because that thing if thing
Yeah.
fell, it almost killed me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was down there, and they got the Bela Lugosi mirror at the time. It was in the basement, and I was standing just to the side of the mirror, and then all of a sudden, I felt like something hit me in the chest, and my shoulders fell back into the wall. I'm going, what the hell? I didn't know what it was, man. It was kind of crazy.
Did you meet Peggy?
The Peggy the doll.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I know everybody who works for him has to meet Peggy.
Peggy. Well,
What
when
did
I
she
was
call you?
She never said anything to me personally, but she would. I don't know if you remember the Big Mike security, Mike Ray. She would call him out by name every time you walked in there because they got the box there.
Yep.
But every time he walked in there, she'd say his name.
Wow.
Is she called me short.
Short.
Goodness. I feel like I caught it by surprise because I walked in and Zach was behind me, and 5 seconds after looking at the doll, it goes short, and I'm like, why does everybody go by? Everybody goes by.
You just gotta face it. That's just who you are.
But it's a low blow, man. Low
Hey,
blow.
you even look at that. You even just dogged yourself right there. Low blow.
Yeah, for me.
Well,
that's
the name of your show is Mini Vinny.
I know, right?
So you're calling yourself small.
True. True.
See, and our other show is the Biggest Small Show.
Yeah, big ball show.
It's ass, dude.
My favorite part of the whole thing because I made Zach die laughing right in there. I
Yeah.
looked at him. I go, everybody goes for the height, and he just drops like a sack of rocks.
Yeah. So, and I'm not close to Zach. I've had some interactions with him, but I've never had a bad interaction with him. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
That's really good. So, where would be your bucket list place to investigate?
My bucket list right now, I want to get there before, because I'm old. I want to get there before it's too late. I'd like to do the battlefield at Gettysburg.
Ooh,
That's
right on.
that's my top. Yeah. So
That's got some nothing shit.
I'm 62 now, so I figure I got to do it in the next 15, 20 years before it's too late.
Yeah. So, what do you got, Vinny?
What do I got?
Comment. Yeah, you're reading comment.
What's your freakiest, the one investigation you did that actually made you a believer? It just scared the crap out of you.
The one that actually made me a believer would be the Jamestown Hotel, because that's the one that scares me the most, and that's the place I won't. After being back there with Ghost Adventures 3 years after the initial experience, that's the one place that I won't go into. They wanted me to go back, not Zach, but the producers and the camera guys. They wanted to take these shots, what they called hero shots, at the end of the night, and they
You wouldn't
go,
go back in, would you?
no, I said, they go, "You're not going to go back in the hotel?" I said, "No, I'm not going back in there. You can take all the pictures you want of me out here front, but I'm not going back in there." And I walked out on Zach. Zach followed me out. I walked out of that place. I couldn't take it no more.
Oh,
So
wow.
I just have no desire to go back in there.
See, that's one thing I gotta say about Mr. Baggins. He is a good guy. And when you tell him no, he accepts it.
Yeah.
He doesn't fight you, he doesn't beg you, he doesn't plead. He goes, "You had a bad experience. You don't want to go back in?" "No." "Okay,
Well,
don't go back in."
he asked me, because during the interview part of it, he asked me if I wanted to go back down in the basement, because that's where whatever happened to me. And I told him I actually and if you watch the episode, you hear me say I don't want to, but I need to. I got to know what it is. And so I went. If you just watch the episode, and it wasn't good. And I mean, the way they edited it, it kind of didn't put everything in the full context of what happened, but it gives you a gist of what happened to me. But there was more to it that led up to what happened, what you see on the show.
Okay. And that's this season, right?
What's that?
That's this season?
Yeah, I think it was season 30, episode 7, I believe. Gold Town Terror.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll have to look that up.
I think you can see it on YouTube, right?
No, I can't find it on YouTube.
No.
No, I got it on I have Dish, and I got it on demand. I mean, I recorded it on demand.
Right on.
So I believe it was on Hula too. So I'm not sure if it still is. But yeah, I can't find it on YouTube. You can find I didn't do it because I don't want to do any copyright infringements, but I took some stills of my stuff, myself on the episode, and I made a little slideshow, and I posted that on YouTube.
Okay.
So you might be able to pull that up.
All right.
Okay. Let's
All right.
see.
You got anything you want to ask Miss Fifi?
How was your describe your, I know we're talking paranormal, but I'm kind of curious just a little bit. Describe your character a little bit if you can on the Clown Motel.
I'm just basically a killer clown. And if you watch Clown Motel 3 Ways to Hell, you'll see Dr. Zlotter in like the final scene of that fighting with the Joseph Kelly, because he's battling.
Okay.
And you'll see me swing a sledgehammer at him, and you'll see me a lot in the last few minutes of the movie. So
Did you have fun with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a long day. I was out there all night, but yeah, it's fun. I'm looking forward to 3. And I went out to Hollywood for the premiere, and then we went out to Tonopah because they had a premiere in Tonopah. And,
Nice.
So yeah, I enjoy it, and I have a little slideshow on YouTube with Dr. Zlotter, and you'll see some other. If you go to my Facebook, I posted pictures of Dr. Zlotter on Facebook. I use them for Halloween out in front of my house. So we had a booth. The Clown Motel had a booth at the Days of the Dead in the Plaza a couple months ago, and I had him on there walking around with Dr. Zlotter. And, I have people wanting to take pictures with me and stuff. So, and it's not, I don't really wear a makeup. Mine's a mask. So it's just easier for me. I don't like putting a bunch of stuff on my face. So.
Oh, trust me. Oh man, those nights coming home, taking like 2-3 hour showers just to get crap off of me.
So I just prefer the mask.
But then I started using a prosthetic, but the prosthetic I used was only like half. So I still had face paint on me. Face paint was a little bit easy. I'm trying to find the picture. This was one of my guys here. It's one of my characters.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see because I'm on my phone. So. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, if you go to my the Las Vegas Soul Searcher Facebook, and just go through the pictures there, you'll see a bunch of pictures of Dr. Zlotter, and he's even He's even in the background because they have the poster out for Clown Motel 4, and it's not even in production yet. But the poster's out, and you'll see Dr. Slaughter like in a ghost-like figure in the background.
That is cool. That's cool. I've wanted to get into that's horror movies. I grew up. That was my cartoons was horror movies.
Oh, okay.
And my dad was like, "Hey, you got to watch this," and I'm like, "All right, fine."
Oh,
The one that scared me though, as a little kid, the one that scared me the most was Slaughterhouse.
Oh, okay.
really? That scared you?
As a little kid, it did. So, what would be your let's see. Actually, let's do this. We've been doing it on the other show, and I'm just curious because I kind of want to bring it over to here.
Oh, we gotta
What?
do the question. We're gonna do the pie question.
Yes, I want to know your top 3 pies. Just random. Just a random question. What would be your top 3 pies?
Yeah, I don't really eat pies. I don't do sugar and carbs that much anymore because I got really big, and now I got really small. But
Okay.
I like pumpkin. Pumpkin's probably my top.
I got another one. Thank you. Thank you. I got another pumpkin.
Oh,
Yay.
And I think if I had to pick apple and cherry, I like basics. So yeah.
Cherry.
Yeah. Cherry's good. Cherry's good. We got the pie question, and I got a pumpkin.
Pie question. Mine are and I hear ya. I don't do sweets either, but I like my Dutch apple pie, my cherry pie, and lemon meringue. It's my pie.
Lemon meringue's probably on the top 5 or 6. Yeah. But I like pumpkin's probably my number 1 with little whipped cream on top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even ice cream on top.
Yeah.
My pops eats pumpkin with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, that sounds
Yep.
pretty good too. Yeah.
You could toast that ice cream.
Yep.
So
And
what?
for all of you that are watching, if you want to send a pumpkin pie, let us know in the comments. We'll come back to you with an address, preferably mine.
But you don't eat pumpkin, so to be my pie.
Or a cherry pie, apple pie. You know, there's more than one type. Okay.
Just send pie.
Just saying pie. Pie is good. Pie is better than cake.
Pie is way better than cake. Pie is the square root of whatever.
Well, if you see the original video from Jamestown, you'll see why I don't eat sugars or carbs that much anymore. I was like 324 pounds.
Yeah,
Understand?
you look good, brother. You
Yeah.
look good now.
I'm about 195 right now.
Good.
Right on.
That's awesome. That's a lot of
And-
weight to cut off.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
And it was just changing my diet, man. Stayed away from carbs, proteins, kind of like my own keto type of thing. But
Uh-huh.
and it started once you get rid of the sugars and the carbs, it just starts falling off.
Yep.
Nice.
It's a lot of water weight and
Yeah.
lot of sugar crap.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get away from it. Just so hard.
But after a few months, you don't even miss it anymore. That's the whole thing. It's just the initial getting away from it.
Yeah.
Once you do make the break and get in a routine, you really don't miss it anymore. And if you get a sweet tooth, Atkins makes candy. Have a piece of Atkins candy in moderation, of course, but it's still low sugar and low carbs.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually starting the no caffeine / no sugary drinks because I really love Milo sweet tea. I'm a big sweet tea fan, and I'm going on 3 days now with just water. I've got the Circle, so I've got strawberry flavoring for my water.
Well, I still drink between a gallon and a gallon and a half of water a day. So
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's good for you, yeah. But in the morning, I'm Italian. Let me explain to you about how Italians function. You don't give me my coffee, I'll kill you. That is how the Italians work. That's just it.
I still drink coffee. I drink my coffee in the morning. I just drink it black, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to cut out the caffeine.
No.
Just everything else you put in it.
All the calories you put in it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit you could leave out.
Yeah.
But if a doctor were to come up to me and tell me, you will live for 5 more years if you stop drinking coffee, but if you have one more, you're dead tomorrow. I'd say, are you coming to the funeral?
No. And nobody knows when their last day is. Whenever it happens, you know?
Yep. Live
So is there,
the way you want to live.
Yeah,
Enjoy life.
exactly. Life is more enjoyable when you're not 324 pounds.
exactly. I can understand that. That's what I'm in the process of doing, is losing the weight and everything.
Yeah.
So I get you there. So is there anything you would want to tell the people listening that, the world basically, of teaching them in paranormal, like
No, I mean,
what to do?
if you're just starting out and you just want to go, grab yourself a digital voice recorder, EMF detector, and a couple pieces of cat balls. You don't have to spend a lot of money on equipment to go have a good time ghost hunting. Just go out, and you got to understand that it's not instantaneously. You're not going to, it's like fishing. You could be there for hours and nothing. And you just keep at it and you keep at it. And, and there's times where we were there for 5-6 hours and didn't get anything. And then just like the last one we did, it was pretty much quiet the whole night. And then like the last hour and a half, we heard whistles. We saw a shadow figure. We saw, we had EVPs, and this was all in the last hour and a half of a whole night being quiet. You know what I'm saying? So you never know when it's going to pop off or if it's going to pop off. So don't get discouraged if you go out and you're new and nothing happens. Just keep at it. And you don't need a lot of expensive equipment. Just get some basic stuff.
Yep.
And your phone does amazing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm personally, I'm not a fan of apps, only because there's a third party that runs those apps. And I don't know what their algorithm is for those apps or everything. So, at least with EMF detectors and the stuff that you control, then it's not somebody else, a third party that has a vested interest in it. So that's just me. I've had other people that love their apps and had some positives with the apps, but just me, I'm not a fan of the apps. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying for me, they don't work real well.
I understand. So Vinny, do me a favor. Take our QR code down.
You want me to take it down?
Yeah.
Why? You don't like it in your face?
Yeah, it's all over me, man.
I know. It's what you do to me. I don't even know where to go.
Do you even know how to do it?
No, I don't know how to do it. You're gonna have to live with it on your face forever.
I got lovely hearts and eyeballs.
Yeah, you have lovely farts. Is that what you get?
No, if I look straight ahead, I have heart. There we go. That's better.
No, I like it better like this. No, I'm joking.
Ew, weirdo. So, do you have any places you're going to go to soon?
Yeah, I think next month we're trying to plan a trip to the Virginia City. Going to go to the Piper Opera House.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah,
Piper Opera House.
Well,
In there.
last time I was there, I was actually working for a lady, and she did weekend ghost hunts there. So I was the one working, doing the investigation of the people that paid to be there. And I actually had some pretty good stuff just doing that. So I want to go back and our group is only 3 people. So I like small investigations, depending on how big the place is. 5 people, maybe tops in some of these places, but you get too many people and you get too many distractions and you get too much noise. But so especially when you
split off, and everybody's got different footage.
Yeah. So I keep
this, and then you go and you listen to it. Oh, that was my ass falling over.
Yeah. So I keep my stuff small. The Las Vegas Soul Search is actually only 3 people, which is,
Okay.
that's how I like to keep it, because we're pretty close. And but the Piper's on my list, and there's a couple places back in Arizona. We just did one in Arizona at the schoolhouse in Globe, Arizona, the Plaza Schoolhouse.
Okay.
So that's the one I was talking about, where we were there. And the first part of the night, there were like people interested in ghost hunting, and they went around and kind of put on a show for them, doing their own little sessions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it was weird because they were in one of the rooms, and the lady running it was putting on this thing, and Sarah and I were sitting back at the corner. There was a chair and a bench there. And all of a sudden, I started feeling really cold on my arm. That's the pictures I sent you. You can't put up. But you see, she had their thermal camera on it, and I started feeling cold, and she took a picture. My arm's red. And then the next picture, you can see a white splotch showing up right when I started feeling the cold. And
Okay.
and they had a bell at the front of the room. And we were there probably for 45 minutes. And I got up. I wanted to leave for a minute and go outside. And the bell hadn't made a sound all night. And there's like 10, 15 people in this room. I get up, I walk by the bell, and it goes ding, ding, ding right when I walked by. And I was like 5 foot from it. And so, and everybody's like, whoa, they're assuming that I had something to do, like it was ringing because maybe it didn't want me to go or something. And then I went to the door, and as I left the door, the bell rung again, and it never rung. That's the only time it rang, and it never rang the rest of the night.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, right after I felt the cold on my arm. So
yeah. Have you been to the
Well, I have-
Eloise Asylum here in Michigan?
where?
The Eloise Asylum.
No, I haven't been. I haven't been out Utah. Utah is the farthest. To California, Nevada, and Utah is where I've done. And Arizona is where I've done my majority of my investigations.
You got to come out here to Michigan. We have a giant closed down asylum, mental asylum. They made a movie out of it.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of place. 'Cause we got the Northern Nevada State Penitentiary up in Carson City that's closed down, and I love that place. That's huge. You can get lost in there, which I like.
Yep, same
Right
thing in this
on.
place. They have every Halloween they have a ghost hunter tour where they let you bring all sorts of equipment and stuff, and they'll let you tour the east side of the asylum. And my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, took my camera with him. My camera is cool because it takes, even though it's digital, it takes negative shots. It's got that mode where you can take negatives, all negatives. And he took a picture of an empty room, and when the negative shot came back, you could see a bed, a hospital tray, you could see a light was on. It was really neat. And then he took a picture of the door frame, and you see this big black blob, and you could see faces popping out of it. And it was incredible. Really
Well,
cool.
I just posted a picture from the school in Arizona, a little video, and we were sitting back in the same place, but we were in this room by ourselves, just Sarah and I now. And you'll see, if you watch the door frame, you'll see like a shadow figure like poke around the corner, kind of show up for a split second and leave. But you can actually see it. That's on in my TikTok or my YouTube and my Facebook page. So, and I don't do production videos. So when you go to my YouTube or my TikTok, I try to split it up, and just, if I find evidence, I'll post that evidence. So I don't do the big production videos. And I also visit graves and tell little stories about graves and stuff, the graves I visit too. So
That's cool. And everybody can find any of that on social media by just looking up Las Vegas Soul Searchers.
Yeah, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't do production videos. I just post different people. Yeah, I just post what I find, and I let everybody make up their own mind what they think it is, or what they.
That's the best way to do it. That's how you know it's real. and it's not fake or edited to look scary,
Yeah, and just like at the schoolhouse, we were upstairs and we were in the classroom, and the classroom was really quiet. Something kept drawing me out into the hallway, so I kept going out in the hallway, and every time I went in the hallway, I just felt like chills and tingles and just a heaviness in the hallway. Then I'd walk back into classroom and I'd feel like normal again. And then I look at the hallway and something kept drawing me out there. I'd go out there and feel the same thing. So after the third time, I tell Sarah or Kelly, I say, hey, why don't you go out in the hallway and let me know if you feel anything, right? So Sarah goes, I'll do it. And I didn't tell them what I was feeling. I didn't tell anybody what I was feeling. And Sarah walks out into the hallway and she's out there and you can see her looking around. And then she comes back in and I go, did you feel anything? And she starts explaining what she felt. And you hear me go, yes, that's the same. She was feeling the same thing I was feeling out there. And so I got kind of excited for that because I knew it wasn't just me. And so,
Right.
And I like those
That
kind
is
of
right.
experience. Yeah. So, it's just not in your head.
Well, I definitely for sure want to have you back, and I will have my internet not be so wonky, and I can be able to use my laptop.
Yeah.
And I want to post what you've sent me.
Yeah.
I do want to share that when we bring you back, and then any other new stuff you have as well.
Well, that one, the 1-3 frame I sent you, with like the orb or whatever it was, it looked like it had a face.
Yes.
Did you see those? Okay, that was at the Omen House in Beverly Hills, California. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Omen House.
I am. I want to go there one day.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there like 3 times. So I know David. I text David all the time. So,
Cool.
We were at the Omen House, and the gal in the picture you see sitting there, that's my wife, Sumitra. And that was her first investigation. She just came along just to come along. And what had happened, we were sitting up the stairs, and it's a 3-level house. The top floor, the upstairs is actually the main floor, and then it goes down subfloors, 3 stories down. But anyways,
Oh, wow.
We're sitting up there, and he's got cameras all over the house. So we were sitting up there, and he was playing. He's got a big, projector screen, and he was had all his camera angles. And we tell him to play back, and we're sitting up there watching. And I'm sitting up here in a bar stool. Kelly's sitting over on a lounge over here, and Sumitra's sitting in the middle on a ottoman. And we're just sitting there and we're watching, and play back some of these videos. Sumitra jumps and she's looking around and we're going, what's going on? And she goes, something just touched me. And she starts blaming me for touching me. But you can clearly see that I'm sitting there. Nobody's touched her. Even the dog by Kelly walked behind Kelly just before Sumitra got touched. He kind of went behind the chair. And in that orb, I found, because David sent me the video and I watched it months later. And then it's hard to see when you watch the actual playback, but I finally caught the orb, and then I stopped it and froze it and I blew it up. And you can see that picture I sent you. It looks like it's got a face on it. Huh? It's crazy. So that was,
Yeah, I'm gonna send that to him so he can check it out when we get off of here, and that way he can look at them.
I want to look at it. I want to see him. That looks awesome.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
awesome.
tell me it doesn't look like a face in that orb.
Oh, it does. It does. I've seen them. It really does.
Yeah, he never shares anything with me.
No, because he's always busy.
I'm always, bro, I'm on oxygen. The only thing I'm busy doing is breathing. That's the only thing.
Yeah. There's a pet cemetery right around the corner from my house here, and there's a elephant. I don't know if you ever heard of the Stony the elephant, the story of Stony the elephant. But well, I go to my I did a complete story on Stony the elephant, and he was a performing elephant, and he was at I believe the Luxor. But the last year or so of his life, he was just mistreated and in so much pain, and he finally died. I think from the story you can see he probably died of a broken heart. It kind of pissed me off. Excuse my language.
You're fine.
Reading about what happened to him and stuff. So watch my video. A couple weeks later, we went out there and did an investigation on his grave because people say they've seen Stony or an elephant grazing in that cemetery. So we went
Huh.
out there, and my son and I were standing over his grave, and we were there, walked around, came back to the grave, walked around, came back, and it was winter, so it gets cold here in Vegas, so it was already cold, right? And
Yeah.
then my son had the K2 in his hand, and it just starts going nuts, right? And the temperature, it was cold, but you felt the temperature drop. It felt like it was like freezing. Yeah, and so when I got back, I played the looking at the video off my body camera, and right as the K2 starts going nuts, you see this cloudy mist go right by the screen. And I have that video in there too. So, but it was actually, and I froze it and I sent it to Kelly. She's my partner in paranormal. And she goes, look. And she drew an outline, and it looked like an elephant with the tusk. But I don't think Stoney had a tusk, but you looked like an ear and a trunk and a tusk. So I don't know. All I know is you can see the mist go by. So
I'm definitely gonna have to.
you'll see a bright light that kind of flashes, but that's just a car light from the street. But you'll see the mist fly across the screen as the
I'm
K2
definitely gonna
goes.
have to check out your YouTube.
So
That's awesome. You got to
Yeah.
take a thermal camera out there and see if you can catch a silhouette.
yeah, I'm going to do that because I have the flare. I have the flare thermal imaging. So, but yeah,
That'd be awesome if you can catch a clean silhouette of the elephant.
that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might try that because this is right around the corner from my house, and you can go in there any time of the day or night. It's never closed.
So, what would be your favorite capture?
My favorite capture, my funniest capture, or my favorite.
Oh, well, you could do both.
Kelly and I were at the Hoover Dam Hotel in Boulder City,
Oh God.
and
Oh.
in the Shirley Temple room, right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently that's where she stayed a lot of the time she was in there. And I was using the XLS camera, and Kelly was laying on the bed. And I mean, you can see it mapping Kelly, and then all of a sudden the stick figure came out of nowhere that wasn't mapping Kelly. And it looked like it was standing over Kelly doing hip thrusts into her face. So I don't know. The video is out there. You can see the video. I'm not going to say anything, but it looked X-rated to me.
Yeah. Look,
Our verdict goes.
he saw an opportunity and he went for it. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's been 50 years.
I think we got us an incubus in that room.
I gotta care for husband's filming.
But the
See,
video,
Scary Movie doesn't have it wrong.
you can watch it and you can make up your own mind. But that's what it looked like to me, and everybody that sees it laughs at it. So it was
Oh
pretty
my
funny.
God.
That's hilarious.
So that's probably my funniest capture. But I think my favorite capture probably was the one at the pet cemetery, because that was
Pet
pretty
cemetery?
awesome. Yeah, the mist. It was like a shadowy mist that just flew by, and you see in the same frame the K2 just going nuts. So I mean, to me that's a good capture because you got this and you got the K2 going nuts when it was quiet most of the night.
Okay. Have you ran across anything demonic or evil, so to say?
Just the Jamestown Hotel, whatever's there.
Jamestown?
Yeah, that whatever's there doesn't like me. And if you watch the episode, like when they did their actual investigation, I wasn't there. But
Right.
if you watch the actual episode, like one of the last scenes in there, they got the XLS camera on Zach, and he's in the corner, and you hear Zach say, "Oh, I feel something like on my back," before anything showed up on the XLS. And then once he said he felt that, you see this stick figure on the camera show up right on top of his back and then disappear really fast. And that's where whatever attached to me, that's where my attachments came from, right there in that same area. Even if you watch the episode, that's the area where I had my freak out experience, for lack of a
Okay.
better. So maybe that thing thought Zach was me for a split second, and then realized that Zach was more powerful than me and just left and realized it wasn't me. I don't know, but that's my take on it. I believe he thought whatever that was thought Zach was me for a split second. Then it boogied when it realized it wasn't. But it's all on the episode, so you can make up your
Okay.
own mind. That was
For
just
sure.
that was just my interpretation of what I thought maybe happened.
Understand. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I have a question. We have 5 minutes left. So within the 5 minutes that we have left, what would you say to those inspired to get into the paranormal field?
what do I say?
Yeah.
Let's go out there and start, you know, like I said, get some little piece of equipment. You don't have to find anything, expensive, and go out and just find different area. It doesn't have to be a building. It doesn't have to be it could be out in the middle, like the cemetery, or it could be out in the open. It could be anywhere at any time. You don't know what's haunted. Just go out and try different places. And like I say, K2, digital voice recorder, maybe a REM pod, some cat balls, just get some small stuff, inexpensive stuff. And then once you start getting into it, then build up your equipment. But just go out and do it for fun. Do it to have a good time, and do it to have your own experiences. Don't go out there and try to prove anything to anybody, and don't go out there trying to make people believe that there's something there when there's nothing there. Just go out for yourself and
Yeah.
and go have your own experiences. Don't try to
Yeah.
live somebody else's experiences.
Yeah, if you're
Don't
gonna
be a
do it,
jackass.
that's what I
Exactly.
say. If you're gonna do it for the experience and the fun and the mystery of it. Don't
Yeah.
do it to get rich. Don't do it to prove something to yourself. Because at the end of the night, you're gonna feel like a dummy. You're
Yeah.
gonna go home and bummed out.
I do it because I enjoy it now. I'm intrigued, and I just want to find more and more and more. We're never going to find the answers. We're never going to be able to know what's out there. All we can do is gather what we gather and put it out there and let people make up their own minds and enjoy what you're doing, and just enjoy the experiences you do find, even though you're never going to be able to explain it. But when you do get a piece of evidence, or like how excited I got when Sarah came back from the hallway and told me what she was feeling, and it was the same thing.
Right.
I got really excited because, wow, somebody else is feeling what I'm feeling, So just have fun at it. You don't have to go out there and try to prove anything to anybody. Just make sure what you're doing is you're doing it for you, and don't go out there and try to find stuff that's not there. Let it come to you, and then put it out there, and let people figure. Let the non-believers question it and call it fake, but as long as you know it's not, and you were there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that old saying. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You
Yeah.
can lead a believer to evidence, but you can't make them believe.
Yeah, that's like
Well-
one of the questions on this interview for the Clown Motel. They asked me, what would you say to the naysayers, who don't believe like your clown or whatever? What can I say to a naysayer? I'm not put on this earth to try to make them believe anything. They're going to believe what they want to believe. I do it because that's what I love and what I like. I don't, whatever they think is up theirs. God didn't put me on this earth to try to impress anybody or try to convince anybody of anything. I just put it out there, and then you make up your own mind. Just don't be rude about it when I put it online and you come up with these negative comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Constructive criticism is fine. Just don't be an asshole. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Don't be
We're not rated, so we're good.
We're not rated. You can say whatever you want, brother.
don't be a butthead about it. There's no reason for nastiness.
No, I agree. And we definitely want to stay in contact. I'll stay in contact with you as well, and have you back on the show. And we will show some actual evidence that you have captured. That way people can see what you've been talking about.
Yeah, that would be great. And if anybody wants to support us, just subscribe to my YouTube or follow me on TikTok. I appreciate it.
Which is Las Vegas. Las Vegas Soul
Yep.
Searchers.
Las
Yep.
Vegas Soul Searchers. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching our show.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
Talk Paranormal. My name is Vinny MG, Mr. Phoenix, the lovely, lovely Michael. And we are Talking Paranormal. Until next time.